Opening scene: a serene farmland. The golden rays of the sun beam over a small village, surrounded by lush hills and olive trees. This is a story of unconditional love, redemption, and the power of forgiveness. Today, we'll explore a tale told by Jesus himself, the story of the prodigal son. Cut to the introduction of a family standing by their home. A father, a responsible elder son, and a younger, restless son who looks toward the horizon with longing. Once upon a time in a small village of ancient Israel, there lived a man with 2 sons. The father was a man of great wisdom and compassion, known for his fairness and love for his family. The elder son, devoted and hardworking, tended to the fields and honored his father every day. The younger son, however, was a dreamer, impatient and yearning for adventure beyond the borders of his home. Scene focuses on the younger son approaching his father with determination in his eyes. One day, the younger son came to his father with a bold and shocking request. Cut to the younger son speaking to his father. Younger son: "Father, give me my share of the inheritance now. I wish to see the world and make my own fortune." To ask for his inheritance while his father was still alive was not only disrespectful, but a sign of great pride, as though he valued wealth more than his family. Despite the heartbreak this request caused, the father complied. He divided his wealth and gave the younger son his due share. Cut to a scene of the younger son leaving with a bundle of goods and silver coins, walking down a dusty path away from his home. With wealth in his possession and freedom in his hands, the younger son left for a far-off land. At first, everything seemed like a dream come true. He spent freely on lavish feasts, fine clothing, and indulgent pleasures. People surrounded him, drawn to his generosity and carefree nature. Scenes show the younger son at a bustling marketplace, dining with friends, and enjoying extravagant entertainment. But soon, the days of abundance met their end. A terrible famine struck the land. With his resources squandered and no friend offering help, the younger son found himself penniless, alone, and hungry. Cut to the younger son, now in tattered clothes, sitting alone with despair in his eyes as people pass him by. In sheer desperation, he sought work tending pigs, a degrading job, especially for a Jew. Starving and humiliated, he longed to fill his stomach even with the pods that the pigs ate, but no one gave him anything. Scene: the younger son, covered in dirt and surrounded by pigs, lifts his eyes as realization dawns upon him. In the depths of his despair, a thought awakened in his heart. How many of my father's workers have bread to spare while I perish here in hunger? I will return home. I will tell my father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Treat me as one of your hired servants. Cut to the younger son walking back with weary, dusty steps, his head hanging low and tears in his eyes. And so he began the long journey home, burdened by the shame of his actions. The road was long and bitter, but his heart held a flicker of hope. Scene shifts to the father, gazing at the horizon near his home, hoping for his son's return. Meanwhile, the father had never stopped longing for his lost son. Day after day, he stood watching the road, praying to see even a shadow of his boy coming home. Scene shows the father's joyful reaction as he spots his son in the distance. And then it happened. One day, the father saw his son from afar, weary and broken, but alive. Overcome with joy, he didn't wait for his son to get closer, he ran to him. With open arms, he embraced him, not caring about the rags or dirt or the years that had passed. Cut to an emotional reunion between the father and the son. The son fell to his knees, tears streaming down his face as he began his heartfelt confession. Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am not worthy to be called your son. The father lifts him up, interrupting him. Father, nonsense! You are my son! Without hesitation, the father called to his servants, Bring the finest robe and put it on him. Place a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Prepare the fattest calf. We will feast and celebrate. For this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." Scene cuts to a feast where the family and servants are rejoicing and music is playing. The house was filled with joy, laughter, and the fragrance of a grand feast. But not everyone shared in the celebration. Cut to the elder son in the fields, hearing the music from afar. He looks confused and upset as he approaches the house. The elder son, returning from the fields, heard the commotion and asked a servant what was happening. Upon learning of his brother's return, he grew angry and refused to join the celebration. Cut to the elder son speaking with the father outside the house. Elder son: "All these years I have worked for you without disobedience, and yet you have never even given me a young goat to celebrate with my friends. But now this son of yours who squandered your wealth returns, and you throw him a feast?" The father's response was gentle yet profound. "Father, my son, you are always with me, and all that I have is yours. But we had to celebrate and be glad because this brother of yours was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." Scene shows the elder son pondering his father's words as music from the celebration plays faintly in the background. The story of the prodigal son carries a powerful message. It reminds us of God's boundless mercy and unfailing love. No matter how far we stray, God is always ready to welcome us back with open arms. And just as the Father rejoiced over his Son's return, heaven rejoices over every soul that finds its way back to God. Closing scene. A wide shot of the Father's house, glowing with life and celebration as the night sky twinkles brightly. So whether you see yourself as the elder son, the younger son, or somewhere in between, this story is for you. A timeless reminder that love, forgiveness, and redemption are always within reach. Text on screen: "Come back home to the Father's embrace.